So there's a new Fable game in the making, and you'd think that would be exciting news, that people would be happy. Well, after seeing the trailer, well, most people are not exactly too happy or thrilled about what they are seeking. In my honest opinion, that game looks less like a real game, but more of a Saints Row the 4th expansion, and that game was not really good. There's a lot of red flags, there's a lot of iffy things, and people have been telling me that as from Healver's babyface has the solution and knows why this is happening. And well, judging from the title of the video, which honestly makes absolutely no sense in my opinion, except for the fact that current female protagonists in games and movies are made to not resemble females at all, so, it does make sense that the female protagonist is male, because she's 100% gonna resemble nothing of a female, most likely. It's still kind of questionable. But anyway, this should be good.
Oh, I love me some video gam. You see me streaming them all the time here on the channel. And I hear that the Fable franchise is coming back. So let's go check out the trailer, shall we?
What do I think about heroes? Well, we've all seen them, haven't we? Swanning about the
Don't tell me, by the way, this does not look like 100% Saints Row-ish. Don't tell me this does not give you exactly that newest Saints Row vibe.
place with their disproportionately high cheekbones and comically massive weapons.
Wanker.
That's so... that...
What the?
No one wants to play with that. No one wants to play with a bad-looking character. You know the Sims franchise? Do you know what's never actually used in the Sims? The body type slider. It's always the super thin. No one even goes for just thin. Everyone's just super thin, okay? And this is that type of situation. Someone decided to look at the Sims slider and say, yeah, everyone always goes for the super thin. We're gonna go for the fat. And see how that works out. Accurate response, though.
Hi everyone, it's Az here from Heal vs Babyface, always living in the worst timeline possible. A few days ago, there were some gaming showcases. I watched the Xbox one. Absolutely, complete and utterly underwhelmed by pretty much everything I saw. The only thing which I had a modicum of interest in was Starfield. And then when they did the presentation about Starfield afterwards, the more I saw, the more worried I became. I mean, I'll get it, but I'm nervous about it. Let's just put it that way. But the very first thing they decided to lead with was the return of the Fable franchise. Lionhead gone now, but the franchise is coming back. And this is what they decided to show us. This time around, it's brought to you by Playground Games and...
Looks promising.
Yes,
Looks
that
promising.
logo is telling me every single solitary thing that I need to know. However,
True.
I also discovered more. When I initially saw this character model, I thought something's wrong here. It doesn't make a lick of sense.
Bruh.
And then I put it down to possibly one of two things. The first one being just really bad design. They were just terrible at character model design. And
that seems reasonable, but then you have to remember, no one is this bad at character design.
This is what they came up with, and I thought, nah, I don't believe in that level of incompetence. So I thought it has to be the second one, which was purposely create a female protagonist that is as ugly as sin because male gaze. We can't have them having anything attractive to look at. No, we're going to make the female character hug ugly, and so they have to play with her because we are living in the most...
Also, I just want you to notice that this makes absolutely no sense. If you look at this part right here, and then you kind of understand that this part is completely just in the wrong position. This is not even human, by the way. I mean, we're talking about, something like this to make this happen. This is insanity, okay? This is just not okay.
Pathetic timeline possible, where companies are going out of their way to make sure that the customers don't get what they want. However, it would prove to be much, much worse than any of those ideas. So this started circulating around social media and other platforms.
Oh ho 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 ho! I haven't read it, but this looks oddly similar. More women involved in creating video games. Women feel threatened by the depiction of attractive women. We get this.
More women involved in creating video games. Women feel threatened by depictions of attractive women. We get this. And it shows the ugly-faced female...
So, the problem with this is, psychologically, that's not true. Women are not threatened by, you know, Victorian models looking better than them. Because every woman can easily just push her mentality to the highest hill possible. And be the most attractive person in her mind. Not really a problem nowadays. But this is simply not true, even. Now... And considering this is not true, women who actually fear other women because they are attractive in the modern age are probably the most mental you can find, honestly.
Protagonist of the upcoming Fable game. But if we look below, Chris Morris, level designer at Playground Games for Fable, non-binary trans femme, they, them, pride flag,
it makes
trans
sense, doesn't
flag,
it?
Secretly a deer. Oh god, I'm gonna switch fucking flashbacks now. Opinions are my own.
I love the opinions are my own part, honestly. Because, like, that's ever gonna save someone from getting fired.
So, I decided to check out the Twitter account to see if this was legit, and...
It probably was.
Their Twitter account is suspended. So I decided to do some further investigation, and that took me to LinkedIn.
Wait, so is it real or not?
So I come across this list of new employees that have joined Playground Games, I think in 2020.
2 years ago.
The second one on the list, Chris Morris. Not only does it provide the names of the new employees, but it also provided pictures of the new employees, and it wasn't...
That's so messed up, America. Like, what? Why do you need to... How do you just go work at a random place and the first thing your workplace does is upload your picture to the internet? What's wrong with you?
It wasn't very difficult to spot which one Chris Morris was, because right there we have a...
Yo, it's the same. It is literally the same. It's even the same dish. Oh my god.
Male.
Boys, whoever said that this is gonna reveal everything why the new Fable looks bad, you, my friend, were absolutely spot on in telling me this.
Stubble on the face.
Wow.
Looking exactly like the female protagonist.
I didn't even need a comparison side by side to tell that this is a self-insert.
From the trailers, self-insert.
Yeah.
So you see, it looks like the best female protagonist, according to Playground Games, is a biological male. Now I want...
It's always the case, boys. Self-high five. What do we have here? Oh, yes. We're the world swimming champion, women swimming champions, bicycle riding champions, yoga champions, shooting champions, basketball champions, football champions. And we dominate literally every woman's sport. It's a joke. We have even claimed multiple Miss Universe titles. It is absolutely... Bruh. We are the best. Obviously, we can be the best female character in the game. It just makes sense when you don't think about it. Also, on a more serious note, this literally means that the game is going to be absolute garbage. Because there's only two options if something like this happens, on a serious note. One, the company is literally so inept that they did not notice that it is a self-insert and no one's going to want to play with a character that looks like that. Two, they know it's a self-insert, and they want it, and they're okay with it staying. And one is incompetence, but the latter is that this company is literally gonna allow this person to make a self-fulfilling fantasy. You know, a power trip, essentially. It's like Ray with being a Kathleen Kennedy self-insert. It's just gonna be so boring. The story is gonna be bad. There's not gonna be a single ounce of depth. You know, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Things like this can only symbolize absolute disaster, and it never succeeds, by the way. So the new Fable is gonna be an absolute. It's not worth buying even.
To stress very, very clearly, do not contact them, do not harass them, do not do anything like that in any way, shape, or form. I'm simply reporting the facts on what they've done with the character and who they've used to create that character. I have to also stress that if this isn't the epitome of misogyny, I don't know what is. Not only did they go down the vanity route of self-inserting.
Can misogyny be real if we don't even know what a woman is? Checkmate.
Now, don't get me wrong. There are plenty of programmers, developers, designers that get themselves into video games somehow, whether it be the name of a place, an NPC, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but it's
minor.
quite
rare, and I really can't think of another instance where they put themselves as the main protagonist. Not only that, they're not female. They are a biological male. We've already seen the heavy erasure of women. Hell, some people can't even define what a female is. And we've seen it in sports and other such events. And now it seems it's time for the video game industry to get on this racket as well. Because you have to participate in their political ideology. This is a fantasy game. You're not...
Bruh, you gotta get that Soros ESG fund money, you know what I'm saying? And good news, Soros sooner or later will kick the bucket, and you know what then happens? His kid is gonna take over. Yeah, Soros has a kid, by the way. And by that kid's own words, he is gonna literally delete conservatives off the internet. That's not a full quote. He says he's gonna make it so that there are no conservatives on the internet, which I think is actually worse. Because he openly has stated, which is, by the way, super idiotic, that he is going to be 100 times more aggressive than his daddy ever was in trying to control the planet and how the world works. Which is going to be a wild and fun ride. You know? So, I gotta get that ESG money, boy. Man, I wondered if I can apply for some kind of ESG scoring. Man, it would be so easy on YouTube. Imagine that.
Allowed to have a fantasy element. What would you do if you could create a fantasy element? Well, we see it all the time in MMORPGs. People tend to, for the most part, create beautiful avatars, sort of extensions of
only beautiful avatars.
But no, we're playing political, ideological games, and fuck you in the process.
Nice.
You will play this biological male who is a female in our game. Well, first of all and foremost, no, I won't, because I won't be touching this game with a fucking barge pole. But hey, Richard Ayoade's in the game, so...
Cool.
Yay!
But I know that this is some person in real life, 100%. It's way too specific for just a random fantasy character, right? But he just said his name, and I literally have no idea who that is. I don't even think I have seen a movie with him. Oh, wait! Isn't he from Rings of Power? Maybe? Yeah. Without the glasses. Is he from Rings of Power? Huh. Interesting.
No, just for the record, I got nothing against Richard Ayoade being in the game at all. He's just there, though, as the distraction to take you away from the political ideology that's going on. These people...
No, wait! The guy from Rings of Power is white. I'm sorry, the guy who I was thinking from Rings of Power is... No, wait, that elf is black. Oh, right. No, actually, it is the character. Maybe it is.
So, yes,
wow.
These people are so tiresome. We
This
just
is
can't have a
amazing.
normal game anymore. No, they can't help themselves. They have to pack in like a turkey at Christmas or Thanksgiving. They've got to pack in as much as their political messaging and ideology and no doubt ESG horseshit into every single.
You see, this is why I like the man. This is why I love Az, because this man knows what's up. He knows what's up. He literally knows how the world operates. He understands it, you know? He's not a guy who literally peaked at McDonald's toilet cleaning. Oh,
solitary game as possible, and then when it's rejected, oh, you bigots, you racists, you homophobes, oh, piss off.
Classic.
You bring it on yourself, always. People just want a normal game to play, a normal film to watch, a normal TV show to sit down at the evening with a meal or some snacks, but you just can't help yourself. Everything, every single solitary thing to you has got to be a political message or some sort of fucking ideological token. You're broken, people. Broken. Pile of dog shit mainstream media Kotaku.
Hey, look at that. We also talked about this. Because this is also a woman-female protagonist that is going to be written by a male, and it's going to be done by Bethesda. A gaming company that has literally failed every single storyline that they have done for the last 10 years. So, they can't even write a male protagonist story correctly a single time in the last 10 plus years. And now they're supposed to write a female protagonist story, which is 10 times harder than writing an actual good male story protagonist, because you have limitations on how you should actually do things. But yeah. I'm sure Bethesda is gonna nail this. And also, obviously everyone loves Baby Yoda so much, so we obviously have to milk this. You know, Jedi Survivors with the little robot? Yeah, obviously we need to milk this as much as possible.
Who are going to be out of business very soon. They're even saying Star Wars Outlaws' backlash proves we need more women protagonists. Well, why aren't you having a...
No, we need to find people who are actually capable of writing decent women protagonists. Wait a minute. No.
Talk to Playground Games, because they've taken a female protagonist and put a male in its role. But of course, you won't, because that fits your ideology. You're a self-fulfilling prophecy. But that gets...
Yeah, and the game can't be good. If they allow this, they obviously will insert way more signaling than anyone wants and anyone's willing to tolerate.
That's one of the beauties when you base it around victimhood and victimization.
Nice.
You can play these silly, contradictory, hypocritical games. Oh, and for the record, that piece by Kotaku, as we all know, is absolute dog shit anyway. I could have legitimately been...
How does Kotaku survive, by the way? Who is literally sponsoring them? Because they definitely don't make money. Kotaku's a joke. It's literally a website specifically for gamers, but they make things that gamers hate and don't even click out of rage. What is making Kotaku still be on afloat?
And interested in picking up this Fable game. I did play the first 3. Now, yes, they all overpromised and underdelivered, but there was a charm to them, and they tended to be for the most part.
I never played Fable, by the way, but as much as I understand, for the time that these games came out, they actually, even though they did overpromise, they allowed you to do unique things that no other game at the time allowed you to do, and that created a cult following for the game. At least the very first games. That's my understanding.
A bit of fun to play as well. But now that Playground Games have fully established that they're an ideological company and they want to push their political messaging through their game, they can just go fuck right off. I'll take my money elsewhere. There is plenty of places that will accept it that isn't into this bullshit. And there is an extensive back catalogue of amazing retro games that I never had the opportunity to play back in the day. So maybe put some of my time, effort, and energy into those instead, or just revisit some of the absolute
Silent Hill?
classics.
Okay.
I have some absolute beauties in my collection that I'd be more than happy
Ooh.
to pick up, put in a retro machine, and have a great time. But as regards to this modern stuff that's coming out, how long can we hold back the floodgates until it all starts falling down?
Hopefully not
Well,
long.
I don't know, but I think unfortunately it's sooner rather than later. I'll see you in the next.
The faster this all collapses, I think the better it is going to be for, us, the consumer, or at least, the consumer that has brain particles left in them. I maybe only have 3 brain cells, but those brain cells are working really, really hard to make up for all the other ones going bye-bye. It is what it is. But yeah, anyway, this was Cruiser Citizen. Thanks for watching. Again, Heel vs. Babyface. You gotta love Az because, the man knows. The man mentioned literally everything. Everything. That's some good stuff. Anyway, have a nice day. Bye-bye.